The hidden cost of retirement no one talks about until it's too late. Everyone loves to talk about retirement like it's simple. You save your money, you stop working, and you finally enjoy the freedom you've been waiting for. But here's the truth that nobody really talks about. Retirement comes with a whole set of hidden costs that can quietly drain your savings if you're not ready for them. And these aren't just small expenses. I'm talking about costs that can add up to tens of thousands of dollars and sometimes hundreds of thousands over time. So today, let's break down the biggest hidden costs that catch Canadians off guard, and more importantly, what you can do right now to prepare for them. Hi, I'm Alex Kellerman, certified financial planner with IG Wealth Management. I work with Canadians who are planning to retire in their 50s or early 60s, and I help them create a retirement income plan that can last 30 years or more without relying on a workplace pension. If you're looking for clarity and confidence around your own retirement plan, make sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you'd like personalized advice, feel free to book a time with me using the link below. Now, let's dive into the hidden costs of retirement that don't make the headlines, but can make or break your plan. Number one, healthcare costs beyond what you expect. We do have public healthcare in Canada, but that doesn't mean retirement health costs are free. Many people are surprised when they retire and suddenly have to pay out of pocket for prescription drugs that aren't fully covered, dental and vision care, physiotherapy or home care, private health insurance premiums if they want better coverage. And as you get older, these costs only go up. So what can you do about it? Factor at least a few $1,000s a year into your plan for health expenses. Also, consider private health coverage or a health spending account early before you leave the workforce. Number two, the rising cost of long-term care. One of the most overlooked costs is what happens if you or your spouse need help with daily living. Long-term care facilities, retirement residences, or even in-home care can be incredibly expensive. In Ontario, for example, a private long-term care bed can run $3,000 to $5,000 per month. Over several years, that can add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what can you do about it? Look into long-term care insurance or critical illness insurance, or build an emergency fund or specific care reserve inside your retirement plan. Number three, taxes on withdrawals. Now, when you're working, taxes are pretty straightforward, but when you retire, they get complicated. Every withdrawal from an RRSP or RRIF is taxable as income. Add CPP and OAS on top of that, and you can find yourself in a higher tax bracket than you expected. This is one of the most common surprises for retirees. Your tax bill doesn't drop nearly as much as you thought. So what can you do about it? Well, you can plan your withdrawals strategically. Also consider tax-efficient strategies like drawing down RSPs early, using your TFSA effectively, and splitting income with a spouse. Number four, lifestyle inflation. Now, this one catches a lot of people by surprise. When you finally retire, you suddenly have more time. And with more time comes more travel, more eating out, more hobbies and projects, which means more spending than you may have planned for. It's not uncommon for people to spend more in their first 10 years of retirement than they did while they were working. What can you do about this? Well, be realistic about what you want to do in retirement. Build a go-go years budget for the early years and then a slower spending plan for later on. Number five, unexpected big ticket expenses. Now, even in retirement, life happens. The roof leaks, your car breaks down, kids or grandkids need help. You want to help pay for a wedding or education. These are one-off costs that can take a bite out of your savings if you haven't built in some buffer. Now, what can you do about it? Keep a separate cash reserve for emergencies so you don't have to pull from investments at a bad time. Number six, inflation over 20 to 30 years. Most people underestimate how much of a silent killer inflation can be in retirement. Why? Well, because we think of prices going up just a little each year, 2%, maybe 3%, and that doesn't feel like much. But over the course of a retirement, that could last 25 or 30 years. Those small increases add up to something massive. So here's a simple example. Let's say you retire at 60 and your retirement plan shows that you need $60,000 a year to cover all your expenses. If inflation averages just 3% per year, by the time you're 75, you'll need roughly $94,000 per year just to have the same lifestyle. By age 85, that number jumps to about $126,000. And that's before you even consider the possibility of higher inflation years like we've seen recently. So what happens if your investments or your income sources don't keep pace? Well, you're slowly forced to cut back. You can't travel as much. You delay home repairs. You start to feel like you're falling behind financially, even though you're pulling out the same amount that you always have. This is why it's important not to park everything in GICs or low return investments the day you retire. What can you do about it? Invest for both income and growth. You need a portfolio that balances safety with enough growth to keep up with rising costs. Use conservative inflation assumptions in your plan. Don't assume 0 or 1% inflation. Plan for at least 2 to 3%. Revisit your plan regularly. Every couple of years, review your spending and investment strategy and make sure you're staying ahead of inflation. Inflation is predictable in that we know it will happen. We just don't know exactly how much. The mistake is pretending it won't be a factor. So the big lesson here is this: retirement is not just about hitting a certain dollar amount in your account and walking away from work. It's about designing a plan that anticipates these hidden costs long before they show up. Healthcare expenses, long-term care needs, taxes on withdrawals, lifestyle inflation, big ticket surprises, and the slow creep of inflation. These are all things that can quietly erode your retirement security if you don't account for them. And here's the good news: when you plan for them early, none of these costs have to derail your retirement. You get to choose how you want to live rather than having circumstances choose for you. So here's what I'd like you to do. Give this video a thumbs up. It tells YouTube this is valuable content and it helps other Canadians find this information before they retire unprepared. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Every week, I share practical strategies to help Canadians retire with more confidence, whether you're 10 years away, 5 years away, or just about to step out of the workforce. Leave me a comment below. Which of these costs caught you off guard? Was it long-term care, taxes, or the rising costs of day-to-day life? I read every comment personally, and I use your questions to guide future videos. And if you're at the stage where you want a clear picture of your own retirement plan, what age you can retire at, how much income you can safely draw, and how to manage these hidden costs so they don't become a problem, click the link in the description where you can book a conversation with me and my team. We work with Canadians all over the country, and the earlier you start planning, the more options you'll have. Thank you for watching. Start planning for these costs now so your retirement years can be spent doing what matters most to you, not worrying about surprises.